Okay, I admit I couldn't get this to perform better. It's weird how it performs so much better in the lab than anywhere else. Oops. Oh, no, Jimmy. For some reason, it kicks you here at the beginning of every time you start the game. It starts the game anew. Why am I touching the mouse? That's weird. So it started. So now it's fine again. Once I go outside, everything starts lagging. Yeah, I just need to restart. Hello. The game every now and then. That's one place to find a red neutron, I guess. It's not really clear on why I want these, but I'll take it. But these kinds of complications are why I don't normally play PC things much. I'm very hesitant to do so, because it's always a lot more work than playing anything else. What room is this?
Saving up for my college fund.
Flamingos everywhere. Ah, Jimmy, come on. But this game can run in software mode and hardware mode. But what? That's the radio, I guess. I figured running this game in software mode might go a little bit better because
Mom loves flowers.
VirtualBox doesn't have proper, and I'm running this in Windows XP VM on VirtualBox. VirtualBox doesn't have proper hardware support for, or hardware acceleration support for XP anymore.
Outstanding. Apple's helped Sir Isaac Newton think better. Well, it couldn't hurt.
So I thought to myself, okay, let's try this on Windows 7 instead, because it also happened to have that. But that
Cool.
one on, I'm just getting ahead of myself. When I tried software mode on Windows XP,
Yeah.
the game wouldn't run at all. When I tried it on Windows 7, it wouldn't run in either software mode or hardware mode, so never mind, I guess. I think most of the lag is just because I don't have proper hardware acceleration. That used to be a thing. In fact, I think I explained pretty thoroughly the whole situation on this back in when I was playing Neutron on the PC. Which is unfortunate though, because it means that games that I would in the past been able to play with somewhat acceptable performance,
I need more candy.
I no longer can, because ever since a certain VirtualBox update. Oh well. I managed to make this work for the very similar Neutron game though, so I figure I can make it work for this game too. Up we go. This guy does not stop running though, jeez. It's Jimmy's room, which is the wrong place to be since it's the right place to be. I want to explore everything else. I want to take full advantage of the fact I can actually run through Jimmy's house in an AWE game now, considering what happened last time I tried to do that. Those of you who don't know what happened last time, I encourage you to watch my playthrough of...
Stay off the bed with your shoes on, young man.
Who? Where? I encourage you to watch my Jimmy Negatron playthrough.
I better collect the Darwins and place them back in their tank.
I have to bring one of them in here? And also, where were they? Carl said they were somewhere outside.
I'd better go to school and race Nick now. I can use the teleportation booth outside to get there.
Loading scooter.
Oh man, this is gonna take forever again.
This level will teach you how to use your scooter invention.
Looks kind of
Select
miserable.
the scooter from the inventory by pressing Tab. This
Tab.
will transform Goddard into a scooter. Walk near him to start riding. Use your mouse or arrow keys to guide the scooter left and right. The up arrow accelerates and the down arrow slows him down. You may also increase your jumps by pressing the right mouse button just as you reach the top of a ramp. exit scooter mode, press the tab button. Go
Jimmy is
ahead
staring at
and try.
I don't remember Vox talking like that. Wasn't this basically a thing in... This feels fairly similar to something we did at one point back in Neutron as well. Yeah, not too bad. I just messed that up because I jumped when I shouldn't have. You might... I'm curious if you bring up this menu... Oh, if you bring up this menu, if you can actually access practice mode from wherever. I feel like you might. The camera I admit is a little weird. Oh, you see reverse. Look at that. Jimmy doesn't look in reverse, but you have a reverse camera, I guess. But this actually controls relatively well compared to the rest of the game so far. Oh, come on now. Yeah, it's a good jump height too, and good cornering and everything. Like, controls better than Jimmy himself. Okay, I don't know if I'm jumping too early or what. Why does Goddard have 4 wheels in the picture on the bottom, and 2 wheels in reality? Ooh. The camera being a bit low is bugging me. But otherwise, this actually is pretty well behaved. Ah! Jimmy, no! I'm curious. So say I'm kind of moving out of control here. Yeah, Jimmy still moves a little bit if you... Jimmy still moves a little bit if you, oops! Space is not the right button. Jimmy still moves a little bit if you get off the scooter. Okay, that jump is really hard. That might be one way to attempt to, That'd be one way to attempt stopping if I really have to, quickly. There you go. Darn it! I still maintain the controls better than most other things in this game so far. It doesn't mean that it's easy to get through whatever obstacles they give me, though. It brakes fairly well. Okay, doesn't always jump when I want it to, though. Oh. Okay, you have to move forward. It makes sense, I guess. You have to move forwards to rotate. Or backwards. Can't rotate in place. That was not a jump, Jimmy. Look at that. That Windows is vouching for me. I absolutely pressed shift there. Yeah. Great. Hey, by the way, can I tell you to not sticky key me ever? How did I tell you to just not sticky key ever? No. Nothing. No sticky keys. On Windows. I forgot sticky keys were a thing. Are those a thing in later versions of Windows? After like 7? I don't know if I ever had to disable those in 10 or not. Good job. Do I just have to hold shift for longer or what? Or is he just not like jumping if he's on a ramp? I held shift that time. This ramp is too short. feel like if it was longer, it would be a bit more forgiving about me trying to jump. I think as I'm, like, bouncing along bits of geometry, though, the game does not really like me jumping. So this being a really small ramp that you kind of, like, just bounce off of, I think poses an issue for me jumping. There you go. I'm pretty sure they put some ground beneath me, though, as I attempt to do this. Why can't I? I really am not jumping a lot of these times, though, for some reason. Jimmy, jump! Or are these wood? Yeah, a lot of the time he just doesn't jump at all. Okay, that time I deliberately jumped really early. Does holding shift make you jump continually? No. Yes? No. It's like I jump and I lock back onto the ground and then don't actually get any height. If I try to jump later, I don't jump at all. I'm having a hard time understanding how one does this. Okay, now I'm jumping. I'm just not going fast enough. Because if I go fast, I don't get to jump. I'd like to get to the end of the tutorial. Why can't I jump? Jump, boy. Jeez. I'll use both shift keys if I have to. I'll just mash both of them at the same time. And that time, again, jumping early, and then I snap to the ground. And stop going upwards. I jumped 2 times that time at least. There we go. I just have to start attempting to jump much earlier than I actually want to jump. Not that early. There we go. And I just mash both shift keys to try to jump. Oh. Your controls are not inverted the way you might expect when you go in reverse, which really confuses me. That was a wonderful jump, Jimmy. He did jump, but not in a useful fashion. Jump like that more often, jeez. This first one's actually the hardest by far. It doesn't help that some of these are kind of blind. I can't quite tell where the platform we're jumping to is. So this is the only one where I have to jump not early? If I don't jump early, then I don't jump. So, it feels like I'm kind of at the mercy of the game. There we go. Can you imagine how many times I pressed shift there? Maybe around 10. You can see that I'm jumping very early most of the time. Reason being that I have to start pressing shift long before I actually want to jump to have any chance of jumping at all. Because as I did just now, I can press shift around 10 times and not jump at all. There we go. Keep going, Jimmy boy. That didn't jump at all, but I guess it worked. There you go. Ha! I kind of just like... play the... Oh, my controls get do get reversed actually when I'm sliding backwards. Just jump that way. Ah! Try to be smart. I was trying. I saved myself some grief. Why is this first one the most demanding? You have to jump with pretty specific timing. But the game doesn't acquiesce to that timing. See? Oftentimes it doesn't jump at all. Jump! That's not a jump, Jimmy! I don't know if it's a problem with me going up ramps or missing from jumping, or if it's just that Jimmy doesn't like jumping in general. But I have to press the jump button somewhere around a dozen times to jump most times. Emphasis on most. Other times it takes maybe 5 instead. And I jump a lot earlier than I mean to. So fine, I didn't plan on doing anything else today. That's a total lie. Somehow I felt it didn't sound sarcastic enough. See? The times when it works, I actually start pressing the jump buttons much longer before I need to jump. It just happens to only jump when I need it to. Which is why it looks like I'm jumping really early sometimes. Oh, come on! This thing's so slippery. It's nice and realistic you can't steer yourself in the air, but it would be an acceptable break from reality if I could. Having no control in the air when I'm doing these jumps is not very nice. Took me a really long time to jump there. Jeez. Cannot see behind myself very well, even with a little rear view cam. Why did I try? Or you would. I think the red platform is where the trophy is, actually. Well, I don't know if that's where the exit is. Why is this first jump so darn hard? I probably could have just dropped onto that platform from where I was. Why don't you friggin' jump? Seriously. Okay, if I try to jump and just hold the button, it takes about half a second to actually jump. Is that a timing thing that I need to get down? I mean, it's a pretty considerable contrast to mashing the jump button, making me jump within a half a second to a second and a half. When I try to jump. Didn't jump at all that time, I don't think. Did not jump at all that time. Great. Is there a logic to this? can't even tell if I jumped that time or not. Did not jump that time. Yeah, I think the mash and keys solution works a lot better. Maybe. Although I'm tempted to do more than mashing at this point. It is where the platform is. I'm mashing buttons the entire time I'm on the yellow platform. To give you an idea of how much effort it takes me to sometimes jump. Why can't you jump? I was actually holding forward the whole time there. There you go. Yeah, just go into the red one.
I'd better check my list of objectives.
I don't know what checking your list of objectives has to do with anything. I guess we just forgotten what you were doing in the past 22 minutes or so it took you to finish this. Okay. Next time, something that's not that.